burning rubber fumes, droning engines and lots of heavy metal is the somewhat unfriendly environment in which you'll find 26-year-old Nicole Pretty. Her face and name belie ability and determination in the obviously male-dominated sport of superspeedway. The energetic office manager from the peaceful Australian border town Wodonga followed in her younger brother's footsteps.
Yes, Nathan raced go-karts probably for 8 years before he got into those cars. A lot of the go-karts get into Formula Ford, which is because it's a road race, and go-karts, you know, sort of open wheel. A lot of people get into the Formula Fords, but Nathan decided to do something a little bit different, which is those cars. And because Nathan was doing that, I decided to do that as well.
However, worrying about Nathan out on the track is not allowed.
Yeah, you don't really have time to think about that. I know he's out there, and if he has a problem or something like that, I usually know because he hasn't, you know, I can't see him at all. So I'm always on the radio and what's happened to Nathan? They try not to tell me because, you know, you tend to worry a little bit. And the same as like Nathan, when I first started racing, I had a pretty big crash, and I think that might have unsettled him a little bit in the race when he found out that I was in the crash. So they try not to, you know, tell us too much what's happening with the other people. So
in her first season, Nicole has become the first woman to win the coveted title Rookie of the Year.
You have to compete, you know, for the whole season or a certain amount of races at the Dome, and wherever you come in the points, the championship points, so the leader of the rookies in the championship points actually gets Rookie of the Year.
Modifications to the Holden Commodore are significant, with safety being an obvious essential.
Well, we have to have a roll cage in it. So, you know, the roll cages are fitted to all those cars. And the fuel tank, we have a bladder, fuel tank bladder, the 308 engine. There's quite a few, you know, modifications to it. We have, you know, the racing brakes, the Harriet brakes at the front, standard brakes at the rear, and just the race seat, and the seat's really in the car. The top speed would be about 240 kilometres an hour, and in the corners, you know, you come down probably to 160, something like that, going around the corner. But I'd like to do an endurance one, which is, you know, the 180 laps, so we're thinking about doing one this season. But yeah, we've only done 82 laps.
Pit stops are desirable if affordable.
They don't have a compulsory pit stop. A lot of the front runners do have a pit stop, which includes changing the 2 left-hand tyres, and sometimes they, you know, put a bit of fuel in, but because of the short distance of the race, they don't need to carry, you know, to add any more fuel. There's sometimes I have not had a pit stop because the car's, you know, been okay, and because I'm not up the front as yet, we're sort of trying to save a little bit of money by not having to put any tyres on.
Down there, George Elliott is frantic, Lee, and a bit of drama. The biggest drama so far is that Lee Watkins just overshot his pit. He actually came in, locked all the brakes up, slid past, and has had now to go right around again and come in again. That's going to hurt him dearly.
That's going to cost him a great deal, and he was running second.
Educating the crew includes taking them for a spin.
We have ride days. We just put a passenger seat in there and take the guys out on the track so they can experience, you know, what it's like to be out there. And yeah, they all love it. They can't believe it, you know, what it's like, because it looks so easy, I guess, from, you know, spectating. But once they get out there and see what it's actually like, they change their mind.
Surprisingly, Nicole needs strength and endurance to keep her fit for racing.
And I've got my own gym at home, so I do a little bit of work on that, and sometimes a little bit of running at night after work. And I mean, out in the race it does get really hot, but I think your adrenaline takes you. You don't even think about the heat once you're out there. I mean, we've raced at 5:30 one time, and it was, you know, quite hot out there, and I wasn't quite sure if we'd make it, but you don't even think about that. And we have a water bottle in the car, so, you know, we're pretty much constantly drinking.